Hello and welcome back. It's time for map 2 between Complexity and Optic. Optic are lagging, but they didn't seem to have any problem on Train. And now we move to Cash, and Complexity didn't really show me anything to be hopeful for them and their chances in this one.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't know what question to ask or what talking point to
It's only your
develop
job,
for this.
Dan.
I mean, it's just
You're the host.
yeah, we can talk
Do you want me
about.
to host?
Okay.
So Dan, what do you think Complexity has to do to beat Optic on Cash? That's not working for you either. No, you want to go and observe?
No, mate, double nuke's coming. I don't want I don't want to do that.
Double nuke.
I'm just like shafted in every which way you look at this.
So you want to produce the show? Come on, Dan. There must be something you can do.
9th to the 11th is the finals of ECS Season 2. You guys can go and grab some tickets at Anaheim.csgoleague.com. Some even having troubles with this. As you guys can see, you have a discount available to you, 25% discount. And if you go to the link, Anaheim.csgoleague.com, you can find out all the packages. The student package is still up for grabs. It's a limited amount of them, but they're still up for grabs. And if you are a student, you can get tickets for free. So check it out. And there you go, Yanko. Plug the tickets. Now into the pistol round. I can do some play-by-play. So we've got... Whoa, wow. Stanislaus opening things up with the first kill. Nice. Good improvement.
Yeah, he's had enough on Train, Dan. He's had enough.
He's had enough. So, Optic, they've taken over both mids, and they're setting up for the A split now. So, I like this. It's pretty cool. The bomb is by door, and there is actually Def who's on quad. Not a necessary position you expect a lot of the time. A lot of CTs like to play retake on the A bomb site, but Def is trying to put in some work, but they all get shut down. Ooh, nice little snap there from Ape. Doesn't really matter though. 1-0.
That's Stanislav for you, Dan. When it's important, when it's an important round, he steps up, gets the entry kill for his team. Mixwell gets 2 more to get the A-bomb site and get the round. And not even with a P250, he only had a Glock.
What a hero. Okay, so a couple of Kevlars purchased by Complexity, and otherwise just pistols here. Bomb actually downed by Ape so far. They are being peppered at the moment until Android is finally going to be eliminated. And I like this from Optic, all combining to take the B bomb site. Optic are a team that's generally impressed me more and more the more that I watch them. I think they've made a lot of improvements, and they showed a greater ability to play the game than I thought. Actually, initially, because straight away we saw last season they just brought over Mixwell. That was a few months ago, and we're like, whoa, okay, Mixwell is actually star level stuff. And then all of a sudden, the level on everybody else started to rise. Tarek obviously jumped into the team, replacing Daps, I believe, and Optic, they show us that they can run good anti-ecos. They have a good understanding for some of the basics. They've got some mid-round calling going. They've got a bit of everything, and again, we've seen like great performances from players like Rush as well. Not necessarily players that you would expect to be the big fraggers on the team. Sometimes can step up to do that. And Tarek, who is a player that often had a lot of hype around him, which I don't know that it was necessarily ever delivered upon by Tarek. I think he was overhyped, but he's a solid player as well to add some more firepower to the team, which makes them really dangerous.
Yeah, I think Rush and F are those types of players. You can't really build a team around them. They can't be the primary stars of a team. But if they have someone to take that role and the responsibility as well, then they can be great at like secondary stars of a team, right? Taking turns in who's going to have a good game and who's going to be helping the team to win.
Well, another anti-eco type round from Optic Gaming. They're just going to rush on into the bomb site, and they're just going to try and get themselves onto that bomb plant as quickly as possible. Another solid anti-eco round. Despite losing 2 players, sometimes it happens. But the main factor is that they got themselves control of the bomb site and they planted the bomb, which means that the CTs are no longer in a position where they can make things complicated for Optic.
Why is the O in their logo black? Isn't it white usually?
I have no idea.
Up where the score is then.
I think it was always like that.
It's awkward.
Oh, right, yeah, I can see that now. That's really weird. Why is that?
And why do they have a US flag? They have 3 Canadians, a Spaniard, and 1 American.
Yanko asking the hard questions. The
A lot
needed
of
questions.
inconsistencies there, Dan. I don't like it. I have to say I don't like it. Also, why? I think this is the best example for Valve. None of the players are using sprays, graffitis. Why is that? Because they cost money, Dan. Because they cost money. Make that free. Free the people. Give them the graffitis.
Should cost money.
Oh, that's a nice shot. That's a nice flick.
Boom. Mixed well.
You know, you can actually tell when players go for that position by the way the nade bounces, because usually one player throws a smoke, the other one throws a nade. And that can allow you to pre-fire that position.
Maybe that's exactly what Mixwell saw.
I mean, he did flick in the end, so maybe not.
Maybe he just wanted to flick.
Flick of the wrist.
Just a bit of a flick. Flick of the wrist. Well, you got Optic now working on the A site, but the rotation is in there from Complexity. Just now reaching the minute mark. You'd like to see... I was to say, you'd like to see maybe an attempt at maybe getting someone into mid or something similar, just to be able to split. Because you don't want to just walk into A after drawing a lot of attention there. And only now after losing an extra player do they actually do this, but they might not even bother with A at all. They would rather, I think, stick together at this point with just 3 players left alive.
What is this over-rotate from Complexity? Why is everyone towards A? Why is Ape only now going back to B or that? Or Ape?
Doesn't matter. Stanislaw steps up. 2 frags for him. Cash clearly a better map for Mr. Stanislaw. And a Complexity going to be looking to try to make their way back into the B bomb site now. A 2v3, very doable. No nades on either side at this point. Ape's trying to walk in. Oh, he's trying to go. Interesting. Gets the trade though, does Uber, which is very important. Ooh, the spray is quite good, but I was surprised that Ape ran forwards instead of kind of to the side into headshot. Considering that you'd be much more open to all the positions, right?
It's true, but he also had a player behind him, so he just wanted to peek as wide as possible so his teammate can get the trade kill. But that 4v3 was atrocious from Complexity, I have to say. I mean, first it was Optic, like they get a 4v3, 5v4, but then they allow Surreal to get the refrag, and then it just Complexity completely caught off guard by that mid push. Just seems that their communication is completely off at the moment. You could see it even on train in some situations. It really wasn't looking good. And here it's looking even worse. So not a good sign for all the Complexity fans out there.
So now we're down to another poor buy for Complexity as they wait for the ability to buy properly. And, I mean, in a round like this, you're just looking for damage most of the time, just to keep the economy honest. Now, the interesting thing actually will be to see whether or not Mixwell goes for the AWPing on the T side of Cash, because he's very, very good with rifles. So, and you don't need to AWP on the T side. Like, some teams prefer that style. Obviously, we did see him already with an AWP in the previous buy round, but I wonder if that's going to be consistent, or whether it's just because he has a good spawn and so on.
I wonder whether Optic has an innate problem of leaving the bomb behind. It happened again then.
Yeah, maybe just getting carried away. I think Steph moving in, able to get nothing done though. So 5-0, Optic with a strong lead early on into this one. Double ups come out for Complexity. do we see any AWP or anything from Optic? They keep hold of the UMP seemingly, and they'll just look to play economically.
I think this is where Optic goes for one of their set pieces. Pretty much. They were in a default in the first gun round. Now they can go for that checkers control that NIP does as well. Or just peek after a flash.
So they got the B bomb site, Yanko.
The interesting thing here is that this is not as silly as it looks this round. But I'll wait for a few more people to die. Okay, I think I can talk now. This round should be over. Because in this gun round, no one threw anything on B from the CTs. So that you can make a pretty good guess that that means there's an op there holding by himself. And seeing as how the flash already popped, Mixwell not having any contact, he just decides to go for it. Pretty much, why not? They're 5-0 up, and he finds Surreal, was it? On that bomb site with the op, he finds Surreal and basically opens up the bomb site for his team. It might have also been the case of his teammate, who was near mid, calling that, you know, at least 2 players are mid. So maybe they can also make a guess that the cities decided to go for the 1-3-1 setup with an op on A and on B, and taking mid control early on. So, or he was just rushing in, having a good time.
And they can
you
see
never know that.
They kill onto Surreal. So moving forwards, complexity.
Because this game isn't really exciting result-wise, I think it's important for people to understand, like, if you're playing CT on cash and you're in a situation like that and you want to switch with the op against good teams, like against tier 1, tier 2 teams, you can't just buy an op like that and hold after you had a rifle and you smoked off. Like, it's too predictable, it's too obvious that you have an op there. So what you want to do is maybe bait them out, throw a smoke, but throw a smoke with a small gap, and then try to get a pick that way, or push aggressively with the op and have a teammate smoke behind you. That way you can go for the kill and then fall back into the smoke, basically providing cover for yourself.
Wise words. Tarek he's loving it, isn't he? He's tapping away. It's definitely going to keep hold of this AWP, or will Optic actually take him down? Because they have a flank coming in to those players, and they haven't necessarily committed to a safe position just yet. But again, Tarek just tapping away, tapping patiently, tapping more than Michael Flatley.
You do know that's all playback, though.
What's that?
All that Lord of the Dance thing, most of those are like just playback.
Well,
the shows.
So what?
I was on one when I was a kid in Belgrade. I was so disappointed it was all playback.
That's really sad, actually.
It is. I was disappointed. It's like realizing there's no Santa.
I find it amazing that you actually got the reference, though, because it is pretty obscure, especially these days.
Yeah, I don't know why. He used to come like every year to Serbia. For some reason.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, more than anywhere else. That is really interesting. Lord of the Dance.
Yeah.
Tap dancing, by the way, for those of you that aren't familiar. Mr. Michael Flatley. I think he's dead now. Is he dead now?
No, of course. I'm not sure that. I'm not so sure. I think he's still alive and kicking. Not dancing himself, perhaps, but I think he's still out there somewhere.
Hopefully. Tapping away.
Leprechauning away.
All right, so early loss of Mixwell in the round here. Rush tries to make a play, but shut down by Android, so good movement there from Complexity on the B-bomb site. Now they could actually decide to play a bit more aggressively now, potentially, or they could just play very passively. With the 5-2 advantage, you have a lot of options. Stanislaw is spotted, and
they lost the 2v5 on train, so never count Optic out.
Yeah, they had Rush, and they can get a 2 versus 2 on a bomb site.
Surely Def hits his shot, though. Surely.
Yeah, it's a very strong angle with the AWP. Very hard for the player with the AK. Ooh, the pre-fire comes in. Not good enough, though. Naf actually had enough time to get the bullet off, though, so if he was on point. Does Stanislaw go for the same peak? Yes.
That position is really powerful, so that's something you can do, because a lot of lower tier teams, up-and-coming teams, they struggle with holding mid. late on into the round as well. This position is extremely powerful, but in order to do this, you kind of need to have a player inside of A main. So you can, after you lose control, you can molly deep A main, then flash your player in, clear that out, and have your Opper just hold mid from there. Have two players inside of B, and that can be a way of you to give up mid control, but still have relatively strong positions.
I like it. Push comes in from Mix12. Again, he seems to be just going in, like getting taken down early. Well, always trying to go for that very fast first aggression.
Looks like they're pugging at this point to an extent. Like just whoever feels like they want to do something, they go for it. Some teammates are close to follow up if need be. If not, someone will try something else on the other side.
Just
oh
pugging.
god, that was a sick shot.
That was pretty nice, wasn't it? Longest man, Stanislaw. Ape is in a hopeless position. Yanko, he's got no cavalry, but he's got the bomb. Bomb is at his feet. But the only way he's going to kill all these T's is if he plants the bomb himself, perhaps. Because, oh, Uber comes in. That is impressive, but he has no bullets left. Stanislaw goes down to Ape in the smoke. Ape sits there patiently, waiting for his moment to strike, and it eventually came.
Cavalry is obsolete, Dan. He's got the Air Force. Uber coming in.
Uber coming
Closing
in.
the round. Hiko coming in as well.
I remember there was a time when I think me and James tried to make as many Uber puns as possible in one map.
What could you use here? Guess you can say Uber delivered the pain in that round.
Yeah.
I can do better.
There's actually a lot of awesome puns you can do with his name.
That was not one of them.
No. That's a very basic one, isn't it? Not
yeah,
even
but
trying.
it's like Uber Eats, delivering, you know.
Yeah.
It has potential. It has potential, Dan.
Surreal has potential as well to shut the round down, because Optic will commit to the B bomb site now with the first two deaths. They need to get in. They need to get the bomb down. B is a bomb site of choice. Nice smoke off though. There's a kill onto Android. Oh dear! Surreal pushes through the smoke, and he's not getting anything there. And now there's a big chance for Optic.
How is that ever gonna work? Like, what was the plan? He walks out, gets one kill with the op, and then what? Goes back into the smoke and survives. The percentage of that working is like below 10.
I agree, wholeheartedly. Oh dear, that's a bit awkward. Def going out after the flashes, getting wrecked. Rush wrecks Uber as well.
I'm sick, Dan.
Rush will get a 5-star rating for that one.
Like, look at this. Like, first of all, there's not like Android wide peaks, so he doesn't even shoulder peek to buy time for something like that to switch attention to himself, and then Surreal just walks out of a smoke. No nades, no anything. If he's already in a bad position, you need to realize whether you can actually help your...
Was that one nade?
I think so.
Sorry, go ahead.
Never mind. Completely thrown off by the nade, Dan.
I was very thrown off. I was very thrown off indeed.
Nah.
Oh, mere 12 HP, he's fine. He's fine. Definitely be coming in as well.
Yeah, I see in the chat, Mixwell is asking, I killed you with one nade? So he's like, yes, WTF.
And Mixwell with the classic smiley. XD. So, not much for complexity to accomplish in this round. I don't think. Hoping for the best, hoping for the exits, hoping for a weapon to be picked up perhaps, get some damage on the way out for the T's. The T's know the clear path though. They know that they have a clear path towards T-spawn if they want, but as you said, maybe they're in a puggy mood. They might just run anywhere, so that could be an opening for Def and Uber.
It's just that at this level of CS, you can't afford to throw away rounds like those two 4v3s and similar rounds. Just unacceptable, Dan. It's unacceptable. The 100 damage nade, boom, headshot.
That's awesome.
It's a great game we have here of Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Global offensive.
Lovely stuff. 100 damage nade. Of course, if it falls a pixel next to it, it can do 0 damage as well. There are no rules.
Well, there are rules. The rules just suck. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Okay, Dan, whatever. You get the point.
I do definitely get your point. I mean, Pedantic sprayed down a couple of players there, opening up the AE bomb sites. And again, this is it's not too much to talk about in this one, Yanko. I'll be honest.
We can talk about something in general on cash, not in live, Dan.
I'm down with it.
But here on the map, it's like I mean, the problem is it's hard to find a way for complexity. You know, to say, okay, complexity should just do this and it will win them the round. Because they're not losing rounds by bad positioning in the beginning of the round, per se, or bad setups. They are just losing the round, but making individual mistakes in, you know, when something's happening in a round. You know, when a team is pushing a bomb site, even though they have, like, the advantage, they just make an individual mistake, which, you know, the advantage doesn't help at that point. Decision-making is highly questionable from the players. This is like Mixwell is just having fun at this point.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's so many rounds where he's died exactly like that. And if you consider that it's 10-2, and he's basically giving up all these free kills by just running in with these risks, and he's relying on his teammates to just kill everyone, which is happening. And at this point as well, it gets to that stage where Complexity aren't playing against a team that's playing like kind of proper Counter-Strike.
That's the thing. That can be very problematic, though. That's why it was extremely hard to play against Fnatic when they were the best team in the world. Because when you play, you expect teams to do things that make sense, right? But if you just play like this, Puggy, then let's say Def is, you know, I'm gonna sneak through the smoke and hold this angle. Who would like jump in through that smoke or flash in and jump? But that's exactly what Mixwell did, and you know, in a different scenario, that could have gotten him 2 kills, perhaps on unsuspecting counter-terrorists.
It's something that's it throws people off as well, because you get to a spot where you're like, firstly, it might actually just tilt you because you're like, that's so stupid. But actually, hang on, we do have this one-on-one here going on for A, but it
doesn't matter, Dan. It absolutely does not matter. I will let you do your job.
Okay.
You see? Told you.
You get to a spot where when you're playing a team that has that play style, it can also get into your head massively, because you either feel like you're doing something right, or you feel like they're playing stupid, and they killed you by playing stupid, and that you died to that, and that's frustrating that catches you off, and then but you can't really adjust to it because it's kind of.
You just have to deal with it, no matter how silly that sounds.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it. If you're struggling, you can always try and group up together, try to clear an area of the map, and then just play passive on the other side. That disallows your opponents to basically get anything from individual plays, because you're simply grouping up on one side, and on the other side you're playing so passively, you're not allowing them to find any openings. In theory, that's a way it could work, but as we said, that's not the issue for Complexity in this game. It's bad decisions, simply.
Bad decisions. How do you get good decisions, Yanko?
How do you get good decisions? Yeah. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, you need to review your own game. That's so cheeky from Mixwell. But basically, you rewatch the game and you point out, like, if let's say a coach, I think Warden is their coach actually. So Warden sits the boys down, says, "Okay, boys, round number 5, we had a 4v3. This is what happened. What was your thought process if you were thinking, okay, that's wrong. This is why that is wrong. What you should do is this, this, and this. This is how your thought process should go." And if players are able to realize that, to understand that, then there is room for improvement, right? Then you can see, oh, all right, so that was the issue. When we are in a advantageous situation, there's no reason for us to take any more aggressive peaks and give away that advantage. Simply, we can just play safe, play the numbers, and win the round that way.
That sounds very useful, having a coach.
It doesn't even have to be that. You can just review your own game, or honestly, some of these mistakes are like just fundamental CS pretty much. So it can always be I mean, we do have the power of seeing everything that happens on the server. Of course, the players do not have that, but you think that they should have enough information. So if they don't, it can be a matter of miscommunication, which is a big issue then for the team. Because if these mistakes are coming up from miscommunication, that's a serious issue of miscommunication then. Perhaps the most serious one I've seen in a long time.
Right. I mean, communication is the most important thing. It's and believe it or not, in some of my past teams, especially in certain types of Quake, Quake World, for example, there's like so much information, and like I remember sitting the team down various times, just like talking about and creating a system for communication and like how you would prioritize your the communication, and we had like a massive system for it just to make sure that it was on point, because it's like the most important thing. The most important thing is information, and how you prioritize it. And we have some headshots, Yanko. We have a few headshots. And then the round's over. Optic crushing another round.
Rush is a decent player, not a bad player.
Rush is awesome, man. He's been doing very well with Optic recently. And it's great to see. They're an exciting team because they're kind of they're kind of a fresh lineup in many senses. I suppose you could argue in a lot of spots that Cloud9 are as well still, but...
Yeah, I think they're looking the most European out of the NA teams.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's because of Mixwell or does Stanislav as well have the same view on Counter-Strike, but that takes a lot of pressure off of players when they have rounds where they know what they're supposed to do from start to finish. That, you know, makes it easier in a sense that you're not in a default, you're not spread around, you don't need to just react to things happening on the map. You know exactly what you need to do, and that way you can just focus on doing those things correctly, throwing the correct smoke, flash, checking the correct angles, and basically just focus on your crosshair. Some players actually really prefer that. Even notoriously Getright, who is one of the best players in the world in regards to game sense and just reacting to things happening on the map and being one step ahead. Initially, when Threat came in, I think he also said it's nice to have, you know, for a change at least, someone telling you what to do all the time and not having to think of what to do by yourself non-stop, right? Because Getright was in that position, always on the lurk, always by himself, always need to figure out which road to take, which path to take, whether to be more aggressive or more passive, etc. In some of the rounds with NIP, he knows exactly what he needs to do in a round. And that allows him to, you know, just focus on the crosshair and go in with confidence.
Maybe that's why we see more of a switch to the entry fragging from him as well. Maybe he like really enjoys that now. That change pace, much simpler decision making.
Just skybox and they can't boost. Are they both standing? Oh, okay.
All right, this is interesting. Well, good, nice little boost there. It looks like it's kind of working out. Rush is still alive. There's reinforcements coming in as well. 3 will go down, and Android is the last man standing. How much can he do? Oh, nice stuff, but he just has a little health to work with, and that's the 15-3 there for Optic Gaming.
That was one of those don't try this at home setups.
Ooh, we have the black gun, the auto sniper coming out.
Great setup. Great read. They went for a B stack.
Yeah.
Complexity went B.
Kind of nuts, isn't it? Oh, this is the last chance saloon here for Complexity. Or is Naf actually? He's got the auto sniper. He's on B. He's on B. So that's a little bit sad that Naf is on all the way over to B.
He's rotating though, Dan. He's going to A now. His
Nice.
truck.
Might see some bass, some drum and bass after all. Are Complexity going to go for this anytime soon? They have, I mean, their weapons aren't too bad. Are they going to throw any set smokes, or will they just go in with some running smokes and flashbangs? Looks like that might be the case, that they'll just go all 5 together like they were against SK yesterday. Waiting for potentially like a pop flash play from the CTs, but it's not coming. They're forced to move in. Nice first kill from Def there. Able to take down Mixwell off the red container as well. And here it is. Doosh, doosh, doosh. So bassy. Oh, now it's gone.
Dead now, of course.
Dead now, of course. Oh, no. Okay, being defused that situation. Tarek's still alive, though. And Optic... There's surely no way he's going to do this. With the AWP as well. Tarek looking for the first man. Spots one. Takes it to the face, though. Surreal takes him down. As low as there's not lots of money here for Optic. There's not. They're actually in trouble on the money.
But they do have a 15-4 lead then.
It's true. It's a pretty sizable lead. Pretty sizable lead. Ultrasniper picked up by Uber. Uh-oh. Def's just running in alone into middle.
He was feeling it then. He was feeling it.
Well, now he's...
Now he doesn't feel anything then. He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Mixwell, he makes the hard jump but misses the easier one. Self-boosting himself. Pretty much.
Might work out though, considering that the push is coming over the boost again. Southall's there though. Ooh, I thought he was going to get Uber there, but no. Trade does come in, however. 8 last man standing now for Complexity, Naf and Rush guarding the bomb. I think the bomb is actually on the floor. I don't think it's on the... Okay, yeah, it is on the floor. Would be quite hilarious if it was on the boost. Naf has spotted Ape. Here it is, the play to save the game. They're hanging by a thread at the moment. Will that thread be cut? Yes, it will. 16-4. Complexity. Definitely not looking too good, I must say, at the moment. A handy defeat. A very handy defeat by Optic Gaming.
They definitely look better than. There were times when they looked better. For example, I think it was 2005 when they won the ESWC. That was ESWC, something like that. They were a good team once.
That's more than a decade ago, Yanko.
It was also 2006 was when North America won their last international championship in CS. And now Cloud9 won Pro League. So sometimes it takes a decade for things to change then. Sometimes for the better, other times for the worse.
On that note, we have 2 more maps coming your way. I would say shortly, but it is quite early. So next one is due to start in about 38 minutes.
About 38 minutes. Maybe not exactly 38 minutes, but approximately, yes.
Approximately on the schedule, at least, in 38 minutes. So we will take a quick break. We'll see you back here for the last 2 maps of tonight's North American ECS broadcast.